Hey folks, welcome to another Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's tools, tips, and talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. As you saw from the thumbnail, in today's episode, we're going to do some viewer knives. Before we get to that, a little bit of news and then a mail call. So for news, I just want to give you guys an update on the sharpening system, which I'm calling the Perfect Edge. There's still a couple available in drop 2, so get those quick. They will be shipping out next week. Drop 3 will be available in a couple of weeks, so if you don't want to wait that long, better go get the one that's available now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link up in the corner to the sharpening system, how you can build it or just buy it from my website. Let's go down to the table and look at some mail. All right, let's do the mail call. So this one is from Kelly Naley, who is one of my Patreon members, who sent me this big piece of acrylic. So I'm going to be using this as handle material because I want to show off the whole blade and I don't want to hide it. So I'm going to be using this acrylic and polishing it down to just be totally clear. So I think that's pretty cool. Along with it, he sent this piece of 5160 that is off a shaker deck I'm assuming when he said shaker deck, he meant from a piece of mining equipment. So I think that's pretty cool. He's up in Washington, and I know they have a lot of mines and stuff, and they ship stuff up to Alaska. So that'll be cool. It's a big piece. Thanks, Kelly. Next up is from Dale Ralph, who is Allegheny Mountain Knives. This is actually the hat I was wearing in the intro. He also sent a shirt, and I love shirts and hats, so thank you so much. And Dale sent, if I can open it here, a piece of wrought iron, which is, I think, going to go in the same build that this acrylic is going to go into, and this other piece of steel, which definitely is not wrought. I forget, I think he told me what this was, maybe a piece of 15N20, although it's kind of rusty. I'm not sure, but thank you, Dale. I will be sure to put both of these to good use. Let's get into some viewer knives. Our first viewer knife entry comes from Liam Wally. He's from New Zealand and he's only 17 years old. The first is a feather Damascus kitchen knife with an integral bolster. He did all of this Damascus by hand, no power hammer, no press. The next is a kitchen knife with an S-grind. Really great work, Liam. Next up is a couple of knives from Ed Richards. First, this kitchen knife. Looks like a Sanmai construction, very cool handle. And then this Hunter, again, a Sanmai with this beautiful handle material. Great job, Ed. This next one's from Kevin Stewart. It's his take on a Celtic ring knife. If you look close, there's a dragon in the blade. Very cool. Here's a couple of knives from a fellow Canadian, Ryan LeBauer. These two are knives number 4 and 5 from Ryan. Very, very nice work. This next smith is placed very well in our viewer portion of the challenges. Mark Bishop does some awesome work. These are knives 40 and 41 for Mark. Everyone better watch out for this kid. Braylon is a 15-year-old bladesmith. He made this buoy out of a leaf spring and some African blackwood. Beautiful lines on this knife. While not quite a knife, Brian Howman made this to serve cake at his cousin's wedding. His cousin is also a mason, so you can see the trowel motif here. This next knife is chef knife from Justin, his very first, and he just started smithing April of 2021. This one looks like a Gomai construction. Very cool. Here's a Kumai Fighter from Kajun. It looks like mono steel over copper with a twist Damascus core, and he did all the Damascus by hand. Good job. On this next one, John Andrews decided to do his take on my elven sword design. He made his out of 5160 with a beautiful burl handle. Here's another young bladesmith. Brody's 17 years old out of New Hampshire, and here he's showing us his twist Damascus, which he did by hand. Pretty cool profile on this knife. These next couple of knives are from Adrian from Buenos Aires. The first one is a feather Damascus Hunter, and the second one I find really cool. It's a Kumai where you match the pattern into the sheath. Really unique. This next knife is from another young maker,
Isaac is only 14 years old, and this is only his 4th knife. Really cool knife, Isaac. Keep at it. These next 2 knives come from Jorgen, who's really mastered the Hamon. These, of course, are W2 steel, and they have some beautiful Amboina burl handles. There's no name with this submission, but this blade speaks for itself. It's a beautiful fighter with a wonderful ladder pattern. I also really like the photography over the mirror. We have lots of young makers sending in pictures. These 2 are from Elias. He's 16 years old, and he's from Austria. These 2 definitely look like they're beyond his years. Here's some knives from Bray Jones. I love his use of bright colors and cool handle material. These are also among his first 5 knives. This next knife is from Michael Bradshaw. It's a chef knife he did in AEBL as a wedding gift with a handle in Buckeye burl. Really pretty. This knife is from our youngest viewer. Isaiah Kostick is only 12 years old. He hand forged this, and he only has 2 power tools. This 12-year-old is gonna go places. This last knife is from my buddy Jared at Echo Blades. He called this one the Stormtrooper. It had a distressed white Cerakote. Really cool and unique idea. Great job, Jared.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of Viewer Knives. If you want to see your knife on the next episode, email it to me at tyrellknifeworks@gmail.com. I can't guarantee that I'm going to use all submissions. Sometimes the picture quality isn't that great. Also, try to put it in landscape format. It just shows up a little easier. So thanks, folks, for joining me. Remember to check out our sponsor, Maritime Knife Supply, for all your knife making needs. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on the next one.